Well, hello, it's Marcus, and welcome to another Zooming with In My Garden Jungle. And today we are doing yet more Adelaide Fringe because there is a plethora of stuff going on in town. It's only 2 weeks away. With me right now via her computer, we are speaking to the amazing Amanda Rowe, who has got a great show that she's produced and directed. It's called Preacher Man. We're going to find out all about it. But first of all, welcome, Amanda Rowe. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How you going, Marcus?
I'm good, thank you. Happy Saturday.
And to you, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Hey, and what about the weather today?
It's absolutely stunning. I'm hoping it keeps going exactly like this in the next few weeks, so we have a fabulous Fringe festival.
Yes, my word. If this continues, we're going to be on a good wicket. People are going to be out and about and celebrating and having joyous fun for 4
Absolutely.
weeks of crazy time.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my, but that's enough about the weather. Let's talk about sport. No, I'm kidding. Who talks about sport anymore? Let's talk
I
about
actually love sport as well, but that's okay.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about arts and entertainment. Let's talk about the Preacher Man. Can you tell me all about it?
So I guess my bit of inspiration for putting this together was my love of Dusty Springfield and all her music. So I wanted to create a show that wasn't a tribute show. There are some fabulous tribute shows going around. I believe there is also one coming to Fringe later in Fringe in March. But we wanted to create a show that was more a celebration of her music, but with our interpretation. So our show is based on three strangers who meet at her funeral, and then they reminisce about their lives using her music and celebrating, their connection through her songs.
I mean, look, I was saying to you earlier that I'm a massive fan of Dusty Springfield. I grew up, I was really blessed as a child that in my home, as I was growing up, my parents played their vinyl all the time. So I was very privy to a lot of this music from, the 60s and 70s style music. Dusty Springfield was on the turntable quite often. So my love of her has been pretty much all my life. Adore her. I've seen numerous musicals over the course of time at the Adelaide Festival Centre and some amateur shows as well. Love Dusty Springfield. So you know I'm going to be there. Where did your love of Dusty Springfield come from?
I guess for me, I love the 60s and 70s music as well. We played it a lot in my household growing up. Then I was lucky enough to direct the South Australian amateur premiere of Dusty, the musical, back in 2011. And I guess dove a little bit deeper into her life during that process and connected with some people that were also, big fans as well. So that's kind of how it all started from there.
I'm going to ask you straight off the bat. Tell me your favorite. And I know, you know what, it's probably like, well, that one, all of them. Because you don't have a greatest hits album without having a plethora of solid bangers. But
Exactly.
tell me, Amanda, what would your absolute ultimate favorite Dusty track be?
Oh, I think it's probably there's probably two equal to. So the look of love, because I love the way that she delivers the lyric and tells the story, but the sound and the breathiness that she brings out in that track. And there's also a song called Going Back, which is another beautiful song that is just, again, storytelling, amazing journey through the music. And they're probably my top two, I think. But there are many, many, many.
I think there's a point where you connect with every one of her songs quite easily. I think hearing her do, I think it was at the Royal Albert Hall, which I believe was her final performance, I think. I could be wrong, so sorry, Dusty fans, if I've got that wrong. But when she did Peter Allen's Quiet Please, There's a Lady on Stage was just like breathtaking.
Yeah.
Windmills of My Mind was just insane. But you know what? I mean, let's be honest, the Memphis album was just like a total
Amazing.
for me. It's a go-to, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Out in my other room, I've got my turntable because you need to these days because it's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Support the artist. You don't support the artist by playing Spotify, guys. But go out and buy the vinyl. But I've got probably 5-6 albums of Dusty's, and the Memphis album is one that I always go back to.
Absolutely.
No, go on.
I was going to say the other album I really love is her Cameo album, which is probably not as well known, but it has some amazing tracks on it.
She's just an amazing artist. But you know what? I'm sure you're the same, Amanda. Oh my God, we're banging on about poor old Dusty Springfield more than the show. But you know what's
That's okay.
Lead into, isn't it? But I think something I really engaged with Dusty was that, you know, her life story was just so tumultuous, and, you know, had so many highs and so many lows that me as a person really connected with her music because of the story behind it all. Fascinating.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think that she was such a groundbreaker and trailblazer in what she did, standing up for, you know, for segregated audiences in South Africa, to, you know, having her relationships with women that was probably not as well known back then, or as, you know, a little bit more behind closed doors. So I think that she was also, very strong in her appeal for standing up for people that maybe couldn't stand up for themselves, which I think was lovely.
Yeah, quite right. Now, let's get to the nuts and bolts of our conversation, darling.
Sure.
Preacher Man, who is appearing in the show? Tell me the
So we have three local artists, Emma Gordon-Smith, Vanessa Lee Shirley, and Michael Bates are our three performers. We also have a live band of 4 musicians, local musicians as well, and they form the team on the show. I think we've got 12 numbers in the show, so we get through quite a few songs, and we link that together with a little bit of story as well.
I love it. The show goes for an hour.
Yes, that's correct. Yep, 1 hour in the Kingfisher in Gluttony.
Brilliant. I'm going to show everyone. So obviously, everyone's probably seen this by now, because you can pick these up from the cafes, from your fashion stores, whatever. You know what? You need to just step out the house and you'll find one of these lying around somewhere. If you flick to the page of page 12, you'll find Preacher Man in the red section of the cabaret area, right there. Bang. And like Amanda was just saying, it is at the Kingfisher, and it's playing from the 16th of February right through to the 25th of February. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 performances. So get onto it, guys. These tickets will sell fast because Dusty Springfield is just an icon. And I really, truly believe, let alone the rest of the audiences that travel to Adelaide, I think the people that live in Adelaide and go to the Adelaide Fringe really like to support the local artists and the local shows and the local producers, etc. So this show will absolutely sell out. So make sure you get your tickets, because it's all around going to be a really good show. I'm actually looking forward to it. Is this the first time that Preacher Man has appeared at the Adelaide Fringe?
Yes, that's correct. It's the first time. It's a premiere for us, so we've been rehearsing our little butts off to try and get it ready to go. But it's fun to do, and it's an exciting show, a new show together, and the creative process has been fantastic as well, working with such a great team.
And how long have you been rehearsing for? And has the rehearsing finished yet? Are you ready to go on stage?
Not quite. We've got a few more to go. We've got 3 sessions next week and a couple just before bump in the week after. We've been rehearsing since we had our first read-through, I think, in December. So we've been putting it together over a number of days. Of course, we've been dealing with all the sicknesses and illnesses that go around at the moment. So yeah, but it's been, as I said, a great process working with a really cool team. So we've been very lucky.
And when did you actually start coming up with the idea of Preacher Man? And how long did it take you to write it before you got to the rehearsal stages?
I was actually in Edinburgh Fringe this year with a show, with a kids show. I actually tour with a kids show as a stage manager and technical manager. We were at Edinburgh Fringe, and I was watching some amazing shows over there, and thought, I think it was about time that I should write something myself. So I started coming up with it back in, was that August last year? And I started writing, I think, in probably, I mean, not till November, really actually writing everything down. So it's been a great process and a fun and rewarding one so far.
So is this Preacher? Oh, sorry, there's cars driving up and down with their those hoon drivers. You know those hoon drivers. if you can hear that, but yeah, it's kind of, I'm living on Halifax Street, so it's kind of chaos out there at the moment. Who would have known? Adelaide gets really busy. Wow.
Who would have thought?
Fringe. So is this your Preacher Man aside, is this your debut for the Adelaide Fringe as far as a producer goes?
Absolutely, yes. This is my first time. So I've been working on the Fringe for I think 4 years. This is my fourth or fifth year doing shows at the Fringe, but this is my first time producing. So yeah.
Congratulations. You know I'm going to be there. I can't wait. If you have me, I would love to come and do a review for you as well, because
I would love to have you there. That'd be great.
I will be all over it. Please tell me, why did you get inspired to do this show, and why did you feel like, you know what, it needs to happen for the Adelaide Fringe this year?
My inspiration is really, I actually live with my parents in a retirement village at the moment. As I'm touring, it's a bit hard to have a house and keep that up to date while I'm on the road. So I've been living in this retirement village, and I noticed that they seem to be lacking a little bit in their entertainment. So I decided that I would like to start putting shows together that were suited to a certain demographic of people, so that they could get quality entertainment into places like this. I wanted to work with people that I know in the Adelaide local scene, because they're always looking for gigs and they're very talented people. And so that was, I guess, the driving force behind putting it together, that I could create something that once it's done at Adelaide Fringe and we've got all the bugs out and made it, you know, as a really good show, that I could then take it to different villages and perform it for residents who, you know, they can't get out. They can't make it to Fringe, or, you know, get out into the theatre. So I really want to start bringing some quality entertainment to them. So that's kind of my plan, my long-term plan with the show.
Well, I'm hoping that's not the end of it. I'm hoping you come back for the 2025 Fringe. I'm hoping you do a regional tour. I'm hoping you can, you know, be so successful with this because of my love of Dusty Springfield personally, and her music needs to be promoted. But I want to see an Australian tour, darling.
Well, let's do it.
Let's not put a ceiling over our talent, babe.
No, absolutely. I've been lucky enough to tour Australia in the last 2 years. I think I've played about over 110 theatres with another show that I do. So I'd love to take Preacher Man to all of those as well.
Don't you find, especially with the artists that have actually passed away, and, you know, there seems to be, you know, once you've lived a certain amount of years, you notice a lot of the people that you know, a lot of the artists that I followed in the 80s, whether it be Prince, whether it be Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, the only way we can keep this music alive and keep the, you know, the younger generation appreciating the past is for these kind of shows to occur. Do you feel the same?
Absolutely. And I think it's also great that we get their input into the arrangements and the interpretation, because, you know, we have artists these days who are supremely talented and clever and have a different way of looking at music and presenting music. So I think getting them, their take on these songs, which we all love and know so well, I think is really exciting, and it's a great mix.
So you as a producer now, with the producer hat on, are you looking forward to be able to start putting together new shows as well outside of the Dusty hat?
Yeah, definitely. It's just finding the right mix and the right songs. As I said, I don't want to produce a tribute show, because I believe there are very good quality people that are doing that at the moment. So it's finding the right story to link in with the music to make it connect for me. But yeah, definitely that's the long-term plan for sure.
You know, something I would like to see, and I'm sure you're going to be exactly the same, and you're going to be like, yes, let's do that. But another person or another group that I really admired, you know, from the 60s, 70s period were the Mamas and the Papas. And we don't see music doing shows very often.
No, and there's some great songs and some beautiful harmony, and absolutely would be a great collection of music for sure.
I think we should get together.
We should collaborate. Let's do it.
We've got something to workshop, babe.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So, hey, can you give me, as we wrap up, can you please give me any hot tips that you might be going to see outside of doing your own shows? There's somebody else that you really want to go and check out?
Yeah, so as I said, there's I think 170 shows on at Gluttony, so I'm going to check out as many of the
Yeah.
Yes, as many of those as I can see. I love 80s music, so I will be getting along to 80s Ladies. I believe the cast are putting on 80s Ladies, so I will be there for that. And I think there's a few more that I'm looking at. Mim Sarah's doing a show, Bisexual Intellectuals, I think. So I'll definitely be getting to see that as well as being in the kids' theatre genre. We've got Justin doing some bubble stuff, and there's another science show that I'm going to check out as well. So yeah, I love Fringe. I love to see as many shows as I can and fit around the time that I'm, working and doing shows myself. So lots and lots to see.
Amanda, I'm so totally impressed. I feel like you've actually read this back or front to back. I'm very impressed. But and I've interviewed a couple of these people during the course of this week, which I've put the videos out for, I believe, now on the website. But there truly is some incredible shows coming along. Like you said, over 170 in Gluttony alone. Then we've got the sprinkling around all of Adelaide, and then we've got the sprinkling in the suburbs as well. So there's a lot going on. Get out, get amongst it all. Go and buy tickets and support these incredible shows, everybody. I'm talking to you. Amanda, you're an absolute delight. I cannot wait to see you at the show. I'll be there. Have the most amazing 2024 Adelaide Fringe, and thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you so much for having me, and definitely look forward to seeing you there.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks, Marcus.